Hello. Welcome to the Money Knowledge channel. Today we will be talking about how to manage your expenses. This is part 2 of our series of our Money Knowledge videos. My videos are intended to be informative, helpful, and fun. To stay up to date with my latest videos and cool money management tips, make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel by clicking the subscribe button. Here is a question. Did you know that 44% of working Canadians are living paycheck to paycheck according to Chartered Professional Accountant Canada? Here's an important idea. You can be proactive in reducing your costs. By shopping around and negotiating with service providers, you can get better deals that will save you money. Small behavior changes will result in big savings. And today, I am going to teach you a few of these tips. If you had a deficit in the budget exercise that I showed in my budgeting video, you'll need to find ways to manage your expenses. Even if you had a surplus, you can still reduce your spending so you have more money left over. That's what we're going to look at now. Tips for saving on fees and purchases. Are there areas where you feel you pay too much, such as your phone bill, internet bill, banking fees, etc.? I bet you would say yes. But what have you done in looking into these? Now let's take a look at areas for potential saving. 1. Check your bills. 2. Negotiate better plans such as banking fees and cell phone services. 3. Review your food costs like groceries, takeout, eat out, and buying lunch. 4. Consider whether you need to own a car, a home, or the latest gadget. First, let's look into checking your bills. Mistakes do happen even with your utility providers. So a good start is to check your bills every month. In addition to finding errors, it helps you to know what your actual costs are and where you can choose to cut back. I find one of the easiest ways to avoid late fees, interest, and penalties is pre-authorized payment plan. Utility companies all offer such payment options. Not only you can enjoy the convenience of automatic payment, but also you can avoid the unnecessary late fees. But as I said, I would encourage you to check your bills every month to spot overcharges even if you've signed up with pre-authorized payment. Negotiate better plans. Have you called a service provider to ask for a lower cost plan before? You'll be surprised that service providers such as insurance, telephone, TV, internet, and credit card companies all would offer discounts. Most service providers will negotiate and match the prices of their competition, especially if you have done some homework and tell them what the competition is offering. Call each service provider. Ask for the customer retention or loyalty department. Ask questions like the ones on the slide. Bundle offers. Many service providers offer bundling discounts. If you have your mobile phone and internet from the same provider, for example, you would be eligible for like 5% off on your monthly services. If you have more services like home phone, landline, and TV, you will likely get a higher discount rate. Let's have a few words on subscription services. Honestly, I love the subscription business model as they are very convenient. But it's amazing how quickly a few subscriptions can add up. $20 for Netflix here, $16 for Spotify Family, and Disney Plus, and Amazon Prime, etc. Before you know it, you've racked up over $55 in monthly cost for these services. I have few tips for managing these costs. First, you could scale back your services. For example, Netflix in 4K is nice, but unless you have a high-end TV, the cheaper standard HD plan may be more than enough. Second, change subscriptions as you need them. I tried this method and I actually enjoy the process of rotating different services. For example, grab Netflix for a month when the new Love is Blind comes out. Then cancel it and switch to Disney Plus for West Side Story. It might seem like a lot of effort, but unsubscribing is easy, and that way you would only be spending a portion of the total services. Lastly, take time to see what services that you really enjoy and don't be shy to kill what you don't need. Okay, now let's talk about food costs. With inflation being so high, many families are feeling the impact of rising food costs. Do you have examples of how you have saved on food costs? Share them in the comments below, as I want to hear your ideas too. Food expenses are a significant area for finding savings, because we often choose the most convenient option and don't consider the costs. Because they are repeated daily, even small expenses can add up to a lot. For example, a $5 breakfast and coffee 5 times a week becomes over $100 a month. A 25% off coupon on a $5 box of cereal saves you $1.25 every time you use one. And how about lunch? Based on $8 for a fast food lunch versus $3 for a homemade lunch, bringing your own lunch can save about $5 a day. Bringing your own water bottle increases the daily savings by about $2 a day. If you do this 3 times a week, the savings can add up to $1,000 a year. Keep a close watch for food costs that you can cut without losing the enjoyment of your food. On these 2 slides, I have put down a number of tips in saving on food and when you shop for groceries. Do you have other tips that work for you? Share in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. Next, we will talk about car cost. Do you have a car? How much do you spend on your car in a week? It need to be including costs for insurance, interest on loans or leases, depreciation and maintenance. The Canadian Automobile Association in 2017 estimates that the average total costs of owning and operating a compact car range from about $150 to about $160 a week, or around $8,000 a year. It is about twice the typical price of the car. Given the real costs of car ownership, you may be better off cycling, taking transit, taking taxis, calling Uber, or renting a car only when you need it. And I also have a cautious note about long-term vehicle financing, that is, repayment terms of up to 8 years. They spread the cost over a long term, so the monthly payments are smaller. But the total cost will be higher. If you terminate the loan early to buy a new car, you may owe more that you will get by selling the vehicle. So my advice is that, instead of having a long-term financing, look for a less expensive vehicle or pay a higher down payment. Renting or owning your home. Although most people think it's better to own your home so you have equity in it and forced savings, it might not be the best option for everyone. When calculating the costs of home ownership, you have to include mortgage payments, including interest rate, fees and potential penalties, the costs of repairs and maintenance, property insurance and taxes. And more importantly, you should not assume high level of annual appreciation year after year. As we discussed, the decision of whether to rent or buy your home is not just a financial calculation. The financial calculation depends on many factors such as interest rates, changing property values and the length of time you intend to stay in one place. You can try out the idea that I put here on the slide to check if you can afford owning a home. Also, Innovation, Science and Economic Development Canada has a rent or buy a home calculator can help you do the financial calculations. Let's talk about insurance. Insurance can protect you and your loved ones from financial loss or hardship. It can help cover costs if something unexpected happens to you or your family, your vehicle, your home, and your belongings. There are a wide range of insurance products cover different types of risks. You have to think about insurance before you need it. You know, it's too late after an accident, illness or other loss. Your insurance policy is a binding contract with the insurer. Be sure it covers what you need. When you buy insurance, the key is to know what the costs are, what the policy covers, and whether you really need the coverage. Get independent advice if you can. Insurance costs vary from one insurer to another. Be sure to get a quote for comparable coverage from a variety of different sellers. Now let's put everything we've learned together. How much difference do you think these changes could make in your personal finances? Take a guess. These cuts add up to over $1,500 a year, and with inflation going so high as it is now, the actual saving is likely to be much higher. Nevertheless, think about what you could get for $1,500. Are you saving for a trip, a computer, to pay back debt? You can certainly use these savings towards your financial goal. Again, many of these savings seem very small, but together they add up. They can make the difference between a deficit and a balanced budget. To stay up to date with my latest videos and cool money management tips, make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel by clicking the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. I would love to give you as much content and tips as I possibly can about money management. Until next time, stay safe, happy money management. Thank you.